All right, let's talk about something that's on everyone's mind in the tech world: AI and software testing. Is it a threat that's coming for our jobs, or is it actually the biggest transformation our field has ever seen? Let's jump right in and figure this out.
If you're in QA, you've probably felt it, right? That little nagging thought in the back of your head about AI and job security. And hey, you're not alone. A lot of testers are wondering, is my role about to become obsolete? But what if we're looking at this whole thing completely backwards?
I love this because it just completely reframes the conversation. See, the story here isn't about replacement, it's about a total reinvention. AI isn't just taking over the old tasks, it's actually creating demand for skills and roles that are brand new. It's a whole new ballgame out there.
Okay, so let's get real. What does this new landscape actually look like on the ground right now? How is AI already changing the day-to-day work for software testers?
Well, the first wave is already here, and honestly, it's doing exactly what we'd want it to do. It's taking over the boring stuff. AI is absolutely fantastic at churning through those mind-numbing repetitive test cases and running these huge regression suites. And what that does is it frees up the human testers, you, to focus on the more complex, strategic work that actually requires a brain.
And this comparison right here really nails the change. We're shifting away from the old way, where the job was mostly about manual clicking and finding individual bugs. Now we're moving to the new way, and here your focus is so much higher level. It's about crafting AI-assisted test strategies and actually building intelligent, robust testing systems from the ground up.
So if AI is handling a lot more of the automation, you're probably asking, well, what's left for us? The answer? A lot, it turns out. This is exactly where those entirely new leagues come into play, creating career paths that just didn't exist before.
And this is the really exciting part. We're not just talking about a slight evolution of the old QA role. We're talking about the birth of completely new specializations, jobs that you couldn't have even put on a resume just a few years ago.
So first up, the AI test strategist. Look, this isn't about running the tests. It's about being the architect of the whole system. You're the one designing the entire testing ecosystem, figuring out which AI tools to use and deciding how to weave them into the development lifecycle to get the biggest impact. It's a serious leadership role.
Then there's this one: prompt engineering for test automation. Think of this as becoming a master communicator with an AI. It's this cool blend of creative and technical skill where you learn to ask the AI the perfect questions to get it to generate really complex test data, creative scenarios, or even entire test scripts. You're basically having a conversation with the machine to get it to do the work.
And this one is absolutely critical. Ethical AI testing. As AI systems start making more and more important decisions, we need people to act as their conscience. This job is all about hunting down hidden biases, ensuring the system is fair, and making sure the AI is transparent and accountable. It's a role that comes with huge responsibility.
Okay, so these new roles sound pretty amazing, right? But the big question is, what do you actually have to learn to get one of them? So let's break down the essential skills you're going to need for your new AI-powered toolkit.
The path forward really breaks down into 3 key steps. First, you got to master the fundamentals of AI and machine learning. That's non-negotiable, because you need it to think like that strategist we just mentioned. Second, get really good at data analysis, because reading what the AI is telling you is crucial. And third, you need to learn the languages that actually power all these systems, which brings us to our next point.
And when we talk about those languages, a few names are going to come up over and over again. Python is the undisputed king. It's pretty much the main language of the AI world, so you've got to know it. Then from there, learning a major framework like Google's TensorFlow or Meta's PyTorch is your next big move. Mastering these doesn't just teach you a tool, it puts you right at the center of how modern AI gets built. So learning these skills is a great first step, but in a field that's moving this fast, how do you make sure you stay relevant for the long haul? Let's talk about future-proofing. Here's the most important thing to remember. This is not a one-and-done kind of deal. To really succeed, you have to embrace a mindset of continuous learning. Maybe that means specializing in a really specific niche, like AI model validation, so you become the go-to expert. Or it means actively networking with people in machine learning, so you know what's coming 6 months from now, not just what happened yesterday. The goal is to anticipate the next wave, not just get hit by it.
Look, this can all feel a bit overwhelming. So here's a simple action plan. You can start today. First, just pick 1 or 2 skills or tools that actually line up with what you want to do. Don't try to learn everything at once. Second, start small.
Try to integrate one simple AI tool into a project you're already working on. And third, find your people. Join an online community, find a mentor, connect with others who are focused on AI and QA. So let's just circle all the way back to where we started, that feeling of anxiety. What if we just flip that on its head? What if this technology, the very thing that seems so disruptive, is actually the single biggest career advantage you could ever ask for? For anyone who leans into this, the potential is just massive.
At the end of the day, the future of testing isn't about the reactive hunt for bugs anymore. It's about proactively partnering with AI to architect software that is fundamentally better, stronger, and more resilient. The tools are here, the opportunity is here, so the only real question left is, are you going to be one of the people who builds it?